The power law says we're going to get to $1 million a coin within 10 years. I would actually argue that would be a good pace. If you get $1 million a coin within 2 years, I'll tell you what's next. What's next is the mother of all crashes. Okay. That's what's next. And then federal investigation, laws banning Bitcoin, everything, right? We'd be better off if it took 10 years to get to $1 million a coin. That would be the preferable thing, not for it to happen in 2 years. If you look at kind of the rate of Bitcoin adoption, meaning how many wallets have, say, 1 Bitcoin in them, right? Also a power law. Yeah. How many Bitcoins have 1/10 of a Bitcoin in them? A power law. How many wallets have 1/100th of a Bitcoin? It's a power law. The ratio of 1 Bitcoin to 100th of a Bitcoin to 1/10 of a Bitcoin to 10 Bitcoin, also a power law. So if you look at the hash rate, it's a power law. So it's like, it's not even one thing. It's like 10 things that are all power laws that all correlate to each other. And really, you really understand that this thing is really like, it's kind of like a virus or something. It's sort of like, if you look at these mobile phone adoption curves, they're very steady curves, right? And you look at television adoption, radio adoption, these technological they follow these very steady curves, right? And so I think Bitcoin's just in the process of following some kind of S curve like that. At this point, we haven't even begun the S part of it, right? Where it's going to sort of level off. It has to at some point level off. But right now, we're in the very beginning part of the S curve, right? Where it just looks kind of exponential, right?
Mathematician Fred Krueger is a firm believer in the Bitcoin power law model, which predicts that Bitcoin will reach $1 million per coin within the next decade. In his latest interview, Krueger explained why he thinks small investors prefer this growth to be gradual. For those unfamiliar with Fred Krueger, he is a highly successful investor with a PhD in mathematics from Stanford. After decades of experience on Wall Street, Krueger has focused entirely on Bitcoin. In the interview, he elaborated on his Bitcoin outlook and his belief in the Bitcoin power model. Krueger's insights provide a comprehensive understanding of why he sees Bitcoin's potential and the factors influencing its projected growth. Be sure to watch until the end of the video, where Krueger discusses why, despite his $1 million prediction, he reveals when he plans to sell. His perspective offers valuable insights for both seasoned and new investors, highlighting the long-term strategy behind his confidence in Bitcoin.
Stop, you don't have time. Don't miss out this 2025 bull run. Educate yourself first ahead of the crowd. We have created the ultimate step-by-step crypto cheat guide that will guide you this bull run. Unlock the secrets of crypto and make smarter investments today. Now by clicking on the link below to get your exclusive copy just under $10.
For whatever reason, the stock to flow plan B kind of narrative kind of won the attention war in 2019, 2020, right? So everybody was talking about that. Plan B got, 3 million followers, and Giovanni got 3 followers. So he kind of gave up in 2019. He's like, well, nobody's paying attention to what I did and stuff. But I actually do think that this power law, coming from a statistical background, I look at the stuff and I'm like, okay, this is clearly the correct mathematical model for this thing. And basically, if you look at this thing, you plot this thing in log terms, you realize that there is a very, very simple and strong correlation between the price of Bitcoin in log space and the time since Genesis, right? So basically, Bitcoin's going up at roughly the 6th power, a little bit less than the 6th power of time. So it's a very fast growing curve. It's not quite exponential, but it's much more fast growing than a parabola. It's time to the 6th power. So that's a really fast growing curve. And once you understand that and you start measuring it and you start analyzing the standard deviation of this, you really see that we have a very, very, very good model for how this stuff statistically has performed. And it really is, it's a very good fit statistically. Now you could sort of say, well, it's going to fail. It's going to do, but look, it hasn't failed at all over a very long period of time. It was even tested outside the model because Giovanni kind of gave up on it in 2019, and other people sort of found it stuff, and they continued the plus, and it's been tested every which way. There's lots and lots of different tests that have been made to it. So it's from a purely statistical point of view, it's really compelling. Now, the other thing about it is, if you look at kind of the rate of Bitcoin adoption, meaning how many wallets have, say, 1 Bitcoin in them, right? Also a power law. Yeah. How many Bitcoins have 1/10 of a Bitcoin in them? A power law. How many wallets have 1/100 of a Bitcoin? It's a power law. The ratio of 1 Bitcoin to 100th of a Bitcoin to 1/10 of a Bitcoin to 10 Bitcoin, also a power law. So if you look at the hash rate, it's a power law. So it's like, it's not even one thing, it's like 10 things that are all power laws that all correlate to each other. And really, you really understand that this thing is really like, it's kind of like a virus or something. It's sort of like, if you look at these mobile phone adoption curves, they're very steady curves, right? And you look at television adoption, radio adoption, these technological they follow these very steady curves, right? And so I think Bitcoin's just in the process of following some kind of S curve like that. At this point, we haven't even begun the S part of it, right? Where it's going to sort of level off. It has to at some point level off. But right now, we're in the very beginning part of the S curve, right? Where it just looks kind of exponential, right? I do think we're going to hit an S curve inflection point somewhere between 10 and 20 years from now. But, we got to get to like 10% adoption, 20% adoption before we really hit that inflection point. And this stuff, even that can be modeled, like, so, and has been. So I definitely think that this is a statistical model. It's kind of a normal model for technology adoption. I think Bitcoin is a technology. It's a new form of money. It's better money tech than the previous form of money, which was fiat. And fiat was a better form of money than gold from a pure product market fit for society. We don't really do great moving around gold coins. That worked fine in the Venetian ages. You come with the little purse of gold coins and stuff. Did not even work that well in the 19th century. It completely failed in the 20th century, right? That stuff's not working. But Bitcoin is really kind of a money for the 21st century. I really think, and beyond, right? Now it's not, as many people have said, it's not fast enough. It's, has all kinds of scaling issues and stuff. If you're going to use it as, not everybody can use Bitcoin base layer. It just can't work that way right now. So either they're going to have to increase the block size, or they're going to have to build layer 2s on it that really work very well. But all these things are going to happen, and I'm convinced that 30 years from now, everybody will think in sats. That's my belief. Like, as crazy as it is, I know everybody's thinking in terms of euros and dollars and pounds and yen, but they're all going away. It's going to be sats, Sats is going to be the unit of account. And, that's a kind of it's a pretty big leap of faith, from a thought perspective, to think that we're going to sats. The power law says we're going to get to $1 million a coin within 10 years. I would actually argue that would be a good pace. If you get $1 million a coin within 2 years, I'll tell you what's next. What's next is the mother of all crashes, okay? That's what's next. And then federal investigation, laws banning Bitcoin, everything, right? We'd be better off if it took 10 years to get to $1 million a coin. That would be the preferable thing, not for it to happen in 2 years. So I think, look, it's not even slow. I mean, $1 million a coin would be like the best performing asset of all times, asset class. This is amazing, right? So I think that's kind of what we're going to get. I think it's fine. It's nothing to sneeze at. And look, as I said sort of before, if we get to $1 million a coin in 2 years, I'm the happiest. I'll be the happiest guy who is wrong ever. Fantastic, But I don't think we're getting there. I don't think you can count on that. And as much as I'm excited about ETFs, I'm excited because I think that means the chance of us getting there is much higher, right? But I think the chance of us kind of failing to the downside is low right now, right? So I always look at the downside. It's like, okay, is Bitcoin going to be lower than 70,000 5 years from now? No, not going to happen, right? Really not likely to be lower than 70,000 5 years from now. So I think that's why I say right now is a really great risk return point to be in Bitcoin. That's my opinion. Look, I think also just you should want it from the point of view of you've got 10 good years to earn money, right? And to accumulate more Bitcoin, right? Yeah. Right. So, maybe you'll be buying your Bitcoin at 200,000. So what? If you're buying it at 200,000 on the way up to $1 million, you don't care, right? You don't want it to just moon to $1 million right now. Me, on the other hand, I probably have peak Bitcoin for Fred, right? I'm probably going to be getting rid of a little bit of Bitcoin down the road. I mean, I'm not going to, I'm not planning on being the richest Bitcoiner in the cemetery either, So, I'm planning on spending some of my Bitcoin, but I don't really have any need to spend anything right now. So, but if Bitcoin gets to anywhere close to $1 million, I'm getting rid of some of my Bitcoin and buying some other stupid thing with it. I don't know.
Everybody has a price.
Everybody has a price, and there's like somebody said, nature abhors a void. So, if you've got money, there's some stupid thing that you want to spend it on, right? I don't care if it's like some abstract art painting or some ordinal or some ridiculous house or whatever it is, whatever it is that floats your boat. But the point of this is to enjoy it too. I do think that right now there's a pretty good argument for delaying some of that gratification, at least 10 years. But but as you get older, you kind of realize you don't have infinite amount of time either. So
Fred Krueger is extremely bullish on Bitcoin, and his optimism isn't without solid backing. Fred holds a PhD in mathematics and has decades of experience on Wall Street, particularly in financial modeling and predictions. When it comes to understanding market patterns, he's the expert. Analyzing the last 3 crypto bull cycles, Krueger has identified a clear pattern. Bitcoin is following a power law. This observation, coming from someone with his mathematical background, is significant and shouldn't be overlooked. Krueger believes that because of this power law, Bitcoin will reach $1 million per coin over the next decade. For more Daily Dose Crypto news, check out these 2 awesome videos on your screen. Click now and we will see you on the next video.